All right.
Hello, and I promise you, I'm not doing anything wrong just because I have 2 cell phones to my name.
Wait, what? All right. What's up, everyone? I am the Kaiju no Kami here with...
Very, my lord, I am the knave known as Silver Quill.
Jesus Christ.
And we have thy...
I'm Cruellica Kain, and I am not participating in this travesty.
Zan, she is befixed and bemuddled.
I guess she is.
He? Okay, I know I go by she and they at times, but there's not a he in that.
Tread carefully, my lord, thou art in dangerous territory.
Verily.
Aye.
Really? That's your answer? Verily.
Aye.
Thou is here to talk about the grand finale of King-Ohger.
The Sentai is concluded. Long live the Sentai.
I think they need to go back to Ren Fair and spend an hour just listening to the old-timey talk, because right now they suck.
Associate with the common knaves? Surely they jest.
Well, common knave? What the hell are you?
An uncommon knave.
They are mere peasants that belong with the pheasants.
Okay, that was dumb.
Duh. But anyway.
The peasants have always been revolting, now they're just rebelling.
We are here to talk about the grand finale of King-Ohger and all the awesomeness that came with it.
I just am very afraid.
Why?
Pray tell.
Because Dawn Brothers was really good. This is really good.
Verily.
How many crappy series are we going to have afterwards?
Well, according to the next Sentai, we'll just be spinning our wheels.
That's a tiresome joke.
Thank you. I thought I'd tread new ground.
Karma's gonna bite you.
No. Then I'll just look for the bumpers.
Okay, before we get...
You are very exhausting.
Before we get started on the episode, I actually want to read a couple of these comments. Cherry Fluffbelly Official.
Hey, Cherry.
Sorry I miss out a bunch. Now I'm alive for this night. Were you, not alive prior? Were you coding every other time that we've had a live stream? Because I'm concerned about your health, Cherry.
Well, that'd be funny, though. Cherry Bot, I can't make it to the stream. I'm counting on you. Comply.
Then Toku Punk. This and Dawn Brothers are my new fave series. Then Hope Boomger. I have to get used to this name.
Boomger.
Will be a nice, chill, funny series and not boring like Zenkaiger. Hey! Zenkaiger wasn't boring. It was the Seinfeld of Toku.
So it was boring.
But nothing. I had fun with the physical humor, if nothing else.
And then Toku Punk also says, I love Ranger and Go-Onger.
Never really got into the go-on.
And then Star Wars fan says, hello to all of us, Cruellica, Kaiju, and Silver, once again in alphabetical order. Arcana Master, King-Ohger finale was amazing. Star Wars fan, the finale was beautiful. And then let's decide how Boomger will go. So before I continue with any of the comments, do we want to talk about the episode?
Yeah, let's get to it. We've got our big battle. Starts off with the Rangers doing their introductions for the final time. They come, they slice, they kick ass. They don't chew bubblegum, unfortunately.
Because we never get to see them, their heads on the Sentai outfits. I've grown accustomed to the final transformation sequence being all of them don their Sentai gear except the helmet and introduce themselves.
Well, I don't think we had that in Dawn Brothers either, if I recall.
Well, okay. Do you want them to superimpose the crane and the puppy?
That would be hilarious.
Actually, now I kind of do want to see it.
Yes.
They have to look at it like, oh, this feels so wrong. This feels so terribly, terribly wrong.
Especially for Inu puppy, because normal size head
Nadakure.
But
so I was kind of used to that. So that's not happening this time.
Well, it doesn't happen in every series. They do some things differently, but it has been a lot of series where they have done the helmetless roll call.
I mean, Gokaiger was really the first Sentai I stuck with start to finish, and I always remember their final transformation.
Well, I still love the Die Ranger where they did their stuff out of costume.
The first time in the franchise, you said?
Yeah, an episode, no Ranger costumes.
Well, even though this episode did have a mech battle, it wasn't necessarily the Rangers controlling the mechs.
Well, I do love, so we have our...
It was everybody, even the mechs.
Okay, before we get to that, I love when Kamijin is attacking whoever it was, and Jeremy comes in, starts fighting him. He's like, "Oh, there's someone else who wants to take care of you." And then we have Rackley's beating the crap out of him, and then we've got Death Narak that shows up with the black spider thing to beat the crap out of him, and then pulls him and just drags him away to the afterlife.
Drag me to hell. And of course, this little spider buddy, it's not your time yet. But I haven't made the proper sales figures.
So, to be fair, and I know he's going to pout for a minute, we actually watched this episode on Sunday.
Yeah, I know. We talked. I was praised for that.
So, the first time I saw it...
hurts a little bit.
Are you crying that much?
Verily, my lord.
But the first...
doth cry.
Thou has no tears to give.
But when Death Narak does it the first time, and you just see him dragging, and I'm like, this is so...
I was just waiting for Kamijin to be like, "No, I don't want to go."
But I did like, once he goes into the afterlife, all you hear is all this noise, and you see Grody. Just... I'm like...
Well, to be honest, I'm actually a little bit in disagreement. I think it would be great to just have the gates to the afterlife close, and you're left to wonder what Death Narak is doing. Because if I think about unimaginable horrors, we're really good at imagining them.
Well, yeah, it would have been cool not to see anything.
The thing is,
but
we still don't know exactly what's going to happen to him after. Because Death Narak could have been there like, "All right, I'm getting ready."
Well, all I think of is Pulp Fiction.
Oh, what's in the box?
No, when after Bruce Willis and oh God, you know, the Kingpin dude.
Mm-hmm.
And
Marcellus?
Yes, Marcellus, when they're with the pig fucker,
Zed.
And they get Marcellus gets free because of Bruce Willis, and he's like, "Just go," and you see the door close, and you just hear noise of what Marcellus is doing to this dude. That would have been cool, but I like that forlorn shot of Grody just finally kind of like in his bubble of hell.
Hell, it is other people. Apparently the people you kill, but you know. So is that their heaven that they're getting to torment their tormentor?
No.
I don't think the afterlife's that petulant, but we'll say that.
It depends on if you need to read Dante's Inferno.
But yeah, so we have that. That was like probably my favorite scene of the finale. Then we've got the guy where they figure out how to defeat Doug Dead.
Diggy hole.
And he grows big, and then the mech grows big, and then we have that really cool scene where the camera's like coming up from the bottom to the side.
Well, if I may rewind just a little bit before then, the scene where they come up with the idea of using the shoe guys as a container, all inspired by a lollipop. Who gave the lollipop?
Sanji.
Or a 4-kid survivor.
All I thought was Sanji.
Hey, here you go. Me, I've got to start smoking again.
I truthfully think in like my headcanon that it was Red from Boom Boom Jer.
That'd be funny. That'd be one way to have an introduction. But I mean, even if it had been like Rock Lee's father finally making good on helping.
Too young of a looking hand.
You observed all that.
You do follicle profiling. I look at hands.
Well, I mean,
I look at many things, but hands.
Your nails are quite wonderful, so I wonder if you've got like a hand model experience. Or is he like that X-Files actor in Zoolander, where he's got the cryo unit around his hand?
I don't know. I think of Kira from JoJo's Part 4, who has a hand fetish.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
Well, every guy's trying to get the digits, just not what you think.
Oh, no. He treats the hand like it's a woman.
Oh, my.
Because it is a woman's hand.
Well, moving hastily on.
So we have our
forthwith
mech battle where the mechs are destroyed in the battle, which was cool to see.
But the scale of the combatants, at least in proportion to the room, keeps changing.
Oh, yeah.
And I actually like that. I mean, normally you'd say, oh, that's just bad compositing. But it really shows this room is not truly measured in a physical sense. Also, apparently, Diggy Doug had windows this whole time. They never showed off the windows.
Well, I love, though, when we see his hand coming down and King-Ohger is getting bigger and bigger and just smack.
Well, so overall, this episode really needs to be watched with the prior 2 episodes all in one shot.
Which is why
They're doing that director's cut.
Yep.
Where they're chopping them all together. And I do like the fact that they're doing it on TV versus theaters, but it was
some
cool
reports have said it's going to be in theaters for a short run.
Also, Zack Snyder is also jumping up and down. Pick me, I can help.
Yeah, he's good at doing that.
A lot.
Yes.
Let's see.
But I also did enjoy the fact that all of the characters really got a chance to shine while fighting Doug Dead. It wasn't like really they get knocked out really quickly and it's the Red versus Doug Dead show.
Yeah, it's not Q Ranger.
Yes. It really allowed everyone to shine, especially because at the end of it, Red and Doug Dead are the 2 most powerful.
Father, son.
Yes, but there's one particular thing I love the most about this.
Mm-hmm.
Is that after they come back down from the mech battle,
his thing is shattered.
His visor thing of his little ship in his head is shattered, and they kill what's inside, and that's what kills him, this little bug thingy. And all I thought is if this was an American show and Gira recognized that little bug thing is his dad, he would be creeped out in American shows. Like, that's my dad?
Well, I mean, actually, I had something for this, but it's slipping my mind all of a sudden. It's just a bug. It's a bug hunt, man. Bug hunt.
But it was interesting to find out at the end.
To finally actually see it like I thought it was.
Well, we all thought that it was basically like the head was a spaceship and it was just piloting this mech.
Kind of like Zargine in Hurricane.
Actually, I was thinking Doctor Who when they're trying to kill Hitler.
Oh, yeah.
And the head is that like
the ship.
The ship.
And they go and they try to punish the worst in history.
Yes.
Before they die. And that's how the Doctor avoids the Reaper yet again.
Exactly.
Well, I also was thinking of Mr. Mind from DC. That because there was a point in 52 when Mr. Mind took over Skeets.
Oh, yes.
So I was just thinking of that as well. Like, oh, it's Mr. Mind inside of Skeets with a giant body attached.
Well, it could also be like Headmasters.
Headmaster Transformers. Actually, I remember it was. I wondered if Doug Dead just had one hell of a Napoleon complex.
So I will say one thing I really did like, though, that not of the finale itself, but that worked is because with the Kyoruger crossover, because Kyoruger had said when they went to series that Dayboss was actually sent by someone else. We never actually saw who sent the Dayboss Legion to Earth. So I kind of liked how that ties in that it could have been Doug Dead that sent Dayboss to Earth.
Although they've already announced both the Don Brothers crossover movie and a Kyoruger one.
Yep.
So we're certainly not done with the Super Sentai, though we will have to wait a little bit to get the subs and all that good stuff.
I also liked that they had that finale element, but it was pretty short. It didn't overstay its welcome. You got to see.
Well, the episode was well done because it was perfectly paced to not feel rushed, but not overstay its welcome. And I liked though how Jeremy was narrating the whole thing, and the last lines of the show is "So the story goes."
Dosa. I like that just when you think they're going to dissolve the borders and everyone will join hands under one rule, which is kind of the Star Trek ideal, they realize it's just more fun to keep things diverse, and they can't settle on a name.
Well, I do like that Dabowski is like, can I have our country in the middle? And Garrett's like, that's because you think the middle is most important. I'm like, this is the most childish thing ever. But I loved it. I did like the fact also when you go to Enscopa and you have the two people that are like pulling the cheeks and arguing, and you have our favorite secondary character. I can't remember.
Yanma's fanboy.
And he's like, we're going to do this in Gokhan style. And he's like, you both suck. And I was like, oh my God.
I wish I could get that ruling on the internet.
No shit.
But then we have Rockleys where he's doing prison work for Gokhan. And
he's actually flirting with his wife.
Oh,
no flirting while on the job.
But overall, before we do the final thoughts of the series, I'll read some more comments. But overall, I really did like this episode.
Oh, it was a great finale.
Anything else that you guys liked about the episode?
Well, and I will say, I think it was a better finale. Even though I think I like Don Brothers better as a series. I like this finale better than the finale of Don Brothers.
Because everyone was getting their ass kicked in Don Brothers until...
Well, it wasn't that. It's just this tied up all the plot threads. Where Don Brothers still had Marusume was a rush job and felt pointless, and we never actually learned the truth behind Black Kaito.
Oh, and well, we did leave one tragic thread adrift. Did Scorpion ever confess her feelings?
Was it Kuagawa?
Yes.
Doesn't matter. They're all dead now anyway.
No, they got their souls.
He's got the souls. He can. Apparently, Yama plays God, dude.
Or worse yet, if someone opens a Rainbow Juria stand, then we're in trouble. Rainbow Juria. That, if I go back and watch that Jello is going to be the second most disturbing Jello of all time. The first being advertised by Bill Cosby.
Yeah. Okay, never mind.
Silent Green is people.
Or True Gods.
All right. So the next batch of comments, they couldn't handle your puns, especially with all the tires and stuff. Our comment master said.
Oh yes,
that.
but we left that with Kaiju fuming.
Toku Punk said when the show started, they hoped for Gurren Lagann style final battle, and it happened.
Galaxy universe-sized mech.
Oh, I never saw Gurren Lagann.
Toku Punk says, "Don't stop the boom boom jar." And Cherry Fluffbelly says they haven't coded; they're just offline constantly when we start.
Good, you have a life outside the internet. That's healthy.
Yes. Then Star Wars fan says, "I have a question. Where is Toei getting these names for like series and stuff?"
They have a hat. They just put a bunch of characters in there, put them in the hat, go and dig them out, and boom. Okay, name. Boom. Boom.
Actually,
All right, we've got this.
They actually got it while they were doing the process. Wait, you keep saying boom. That's it. Forget what the cards say. Boom, boom.
It just has to have jur on the end.
Well,
Or man.
I don't know. Is this sort of junk of the trunk? You got the boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom.
Then Toku Punk says 10 out of 10, ending to Kamijin with Death Narok, dragging him to hell with Grody to suffer. Then Toku Punk, they ripped off Ultraman Tiga.
Did they?
Actually, hold on a minute. Thinking about that, though, because Grody wanted peace and quiet of death. Now he's got Kamajin by him, who's screaming relentlessly, being dead.
But the souls are still screaming at them both, so basically none of them are happy.
And then Star Wars fan says, Death Narok, if I'm going to hell, Kamajin, you're coming with me. And then I'm going to give King-Ohger, Star Wars fan, 10 out of 10 for the ending and the story and the green screen. We'll get to that.
Still better than Zen Kaiju.
Arcana says for an in-suit villain, Doug Dead was an amazing villain. Oh boy, Takumi, oh boy, it's finally done. King-Ohger is done. How would you rate King-Ohger? We'll be getting to that shortly. King-Ohger, this is from Thea Games 10. King-Ohger was the Sentai of all time. I liked how it ended. I can't wait for Boom Boom Jur, going back to basics for Sentai.
What? You don't know that yet.
Well, yes.
At least, well, okay, basics, I think, meaning it's not going to be in front of green screen all the time.
Well, that is a welcome change, but I would say the last 3 Sentai we've witnessed have been very different from the standard formula.
Mm-hmm. Star Wars fan says, and I like how Jeremy even says you can continue this story basically in your own headcanon, asking, does that mean he wants us to make fan fiction?
Oh God.
Ship me with whomever you want, Dosa.
Okay.
Oh yes, and I did like as after they've killed Doug did.
When they're doing their little,
well, yeah, we got elbow bump and then slapping hands on the side and other fist bump. So like everyone paired off. Good.
Rita, shall we fight to decide what our new name should be? This is from our Arcana Master. Rita stayed true to themselves. Toku Punk, they're both the same for me. Ended perfectly for what both shows were. Dawn Brothers and King-Ohger. Still trying to keep up franchise-based. I appreciate that, Cherry Fluff Belly. Just try not to code while you do it. I think King-Ohger, it was fine. Some episodes I despise, like the idol and romance between shoe gods.
Really, I kind of like those.
Takumi.
I like those.
And Psycho Orange, wonder if they're related to Psycho Mantis, says, hello, guys.
Or it might be the Psycho Rangers.
True. And then Takumi says, and 2-year time skip didn't make any sense.
Yeah, it did.
Well, I mean, they had to have a little bit of stability before they threw everything in.
Well, there was that. They had to establish that Jeremy has redone
Death Narok.
Bug Narok. And that they have established peace on the planet. The only thing I will say that didn't really work out is having the one little kid still be a little kid.
Yeah.
So we also have, I hope you like Boom Boom Jur. They already have Go-Ohger crossover in the leaks and scans. There's a new Go-Ohger bus. Tell the world what you think of Go-Ohger.
Toku is also supposed to be crossing over with it.
Toku?
Yep.
The train one.
Yeah. Oh dear.
And then...
I'm feeling derailed.
So Star Wars fan says, if I made my fanfic, there would be a chapter where Grody meets Tachibana.
Oh, Star Wars fan.
And it's also got to have the principal from Forze, since he played that character too.
His name wasn't Tachibana in that show. And then Toku Punk agrees that the Idol episode was fun. Everybody has their own thing. I think we'll see Gamijin again for the John Brothers crossover, which would be hilarious. Rita's best girl.
We should, because those will be taking place in the middle of the series. They're not, the crossover movies usually take place during the main series. It's not till the following year's crossover that takes place after the events of the series.
And have we watched the crossover trailer?
I have. And I'm deeply...
Trailer?
Yeah,
actually,
2 trailers.
Oh, I didn't know there were trailers.
There were trailers. If I told you they're bad, would that make them trailer trash?
Were they bad?
No.
I was like, okay, so.
But look, here's my thing. The last Don Brothers movie we saw was a crossover, and it was insultingly bad.
To the series. Actually, I feel like it was insultingly bad to both series.
Yes, and I firmly dislike it. I really need them to take the shreds of that story and put it back together.
I actually need them to pull a Warner Brothers and destroy all copies of that movie and retcon that it never existed, because if Warner Brothers can do it, everyone else can.
But no tax write-off. Stop rewarding people for destroying
bad behavior.
For destroying creativity.
Yeah.
But overall, what do you guys think of the series in its entirety?
It was a good show. It was a fresh, refreshing, something Sentai really needed after having so many years of stagnation. Even though you had good series, as a whole, this was one of the most. This and Don Brothers have been the most experimental I feel they've been since the early 2000s.
You, sir?
Well, I would add. Kaiser. What, the 45th Sentai? Zenkaiger.
Oh, yeah.
I would add Zenkaiger into that experimental.
Well, yeah, it was the start, even though it failed on many levels.
Okay. I do appreciate where you could say Zenkaiger failed to certain levels, but you have to give it credit for what it tried.
I didn't say that, though. I didn't say it didn't. It was very experimental, and I like that they are experimenting, because Zenkaiger, I do not like the show, but I don't hate it like I do at Ryu Soldier, because I'm glad they experimented and failed, as opposed to just staying redundant.
Mm-hmm.
But on my honor as a knave, I do find this yarn and tone to be of the highest quality, and an enjoyable story start to finish. Verily, I encountered not an episode I truly disliked.
Well, I loved how every episode was.
I'm just ignoring the old timey. I'm proud of you for not doing the old timey.
I have drawn the maiden's ire.
Give thou time, thou will have some later. But technically, there is no filler episodes in this entire series, because every episode, even like the Killrooger ones, led into a bigger story that was part of the overall narrative. So every time it's like, oh, we're going to finally get the filler episode, and oh no, like even the Rita Idol episode, even though it's elements of filler in there, it still had main plot revelations going on in that.
Yes.
So for me, the one thing I really liked about the series is it didn't talk down to the audience. Knowing that its target audience are kids, it didn't give me that feeling that it was talking down to any children. And it actually was very mature in a lot of its presentations, because there was a lot of attempted murders. There was a lot of times where you had espionage going on, and all I'm thinking in the back of my head is like, wow, kids might not get this, but they're actually learning.
Sentai, Sentai, it's the Sentai.
Well, and then also for the fact that...
Actually, I would love to see someone doing the Game of Thrones, but with the map of all the nations from Terra.
Oh, God, that would take so much work. I also did actually appreciate the 2-year time jump after we ended the first arc, really. The first main story. Like, you could have literally ended the series at the death of Rock, and you had a complete story at that moment in time. The fact that they actually did that 2-year time jump, even though it was a little rapid, I can appreciate that, but it still went and had an entire new arc that, truthfully, if you didn't see the first part, there are certain things you would miss. But I feel like it encapsulated a whole story itself.
Well, there was that. Plus, we had the first half was traditional with the villains with your monsters of the week. The second half was like the Infertia gods of Magi Ranger, where they were the villains throughout the rest of the show. There were
like Nye and Mare.
Well, no, the Infertia gods.
Cyclops,
yes, Gorgon, Sphinx.
Okay.
They were all there were no more monsters of the week. They were the only monsters for the rest of the show.
Until they raised the dead, which again saves on costume.
Well, yes.
But it was really well done in that aspect. And I do give Toei props for, even though the green screen was visually pukey at times and sometimes had too much, they made it work for an entire series. Because I know back it was like, oh, is this going to be that way for like 10 episodes? And then they're going to realize it's too costly and
it'll get transported to Earth.
Oh, well, which we were afraid of.
Which happened, but only for 2 episodes.
But also, I love I'm going to send you to the worst place in the universe.
Earth.
Oh, I will say there's one thing I will not miss of this series.
Okay.
Bowler hat.
Okay. I was about to declare my farewell to Bowler Hat, the knave, the cur, and thou hast stolen my thunder. Return and restore mine thunder, sir. Had I a glove, I might smack you in duel challenge.
Here you go. Here's a glove.
Thank you, maiden. Thank you.
Fair wench, keep your distance.
Wench!
Oh, I impugn the honor of thy lady, sir.
But I will agree.
I smite thee. Oh. Okay.
But while you do bid a less than fond farewell to Bowler Hat Guy,
MAGA guy,
I want to highlight the best character of the show.
Rockley's?
Yes. Rockley's, for all the time he was every time he was in the show, he had to act not only by enunciating words, but he had to give the craziest facial expressions. I still think back to when everybody was trying to raise Gira from the dead between him and Yanma, and having all of these fun ways of doing it. And then the whoopee cushion experience. The fact that this man had to emote the most ridiculous things and own it.
Or the balloon on the head. Disqualified.
Or being stuck in a cage and knitting as he's stuck in this cage, or whatever else he was doing.
While the wife is out shopping.
He had the most, of all the characters in the show, he had the biggest development arc.
And the best acting and the best expressions. I mean, for me, it will always be that eye roll of.
So, all right. Who was your favorite Ranger?
Outside of Rockley's?
Of the main cast.
I know, of the main cast.
Rita. From the brony side of things, there is this scene where Rarity, the frilly, most girly one, she says in an almost New York accent, "No spoilers!" That was my go-to until Rita came along with her, no spoilers. And honestly, if they probably didn't cost an arm and a leg, I'd probably get a Mofun.
Oh, I've been thinking about that.
Yeah, they're releasing a life-size one.
Oh God, I don't want a life-size Mofun. We saw Rita at the end napping with that on her. I'm not sure how she got up.
I would say.
They.
No, babe. I would say my favorite is actually Dabowski. how underhanded that man was. He made me so many times to think of Batman that he had a backup plan if this betrayal thing didn't work, another backup plan if this betrayal thing didn't work, to the point where Horrible tried to brainwash him, and he even says, paraphrasing, I'm already brainwashed. You can't brainwash me.
I betrayed myself, but he also shows he's an expert wrestler.
Yes.
Suplex!
I just found his character fascinating because how he started the series is legitimately how he ended the series. Not giving two shits, he will still figure out a way to one-up him.
Well, I will say, I am amazed that being that he has a twin brother, they never did the Clone Ranger subplot in this show.
I'm okay with that.
I am really amazed at that. I thought, I'm like, it's the perfect opportunity to do it. Why aren't you doing it? Yeah, you're not going to do it. Okay, we're not doing it. I mean, I'm cool with that, but this is like...
Well, there are 2 movies left. Yes. You never know.
Who's your favorite character?
It's a toss-up between Rita and Yanma.
Well, I took Rita, so why don't you say what you like about Yanma?
Actually, Yanma reminds me of you.
Slack-jawed Tanukis.
Just that over... puffed up asshole.
I won't apologize or flatter anyone. That's how I roll.
But yeah, Yanma and Rita are I'm tied with. I don't know which one I like more.
Well, what's that you like about Yanma other than the qualities that match you?
Well, he doesn't like being told what to do.
Oh, really?
He basically took over the kingdom on his own terms. And
which that does take skill.
And just like the stuff he's done, that he'll do the stuff without showing the emotions for it.
Well, he is the tsundere of the series. He'll do nice things and be like, it's because I just felt like a baka. It has nothing to do with you.
It's not like we're friends or anything. Though we do have to criticize, he's into crypto.
Yeah.
Gotta dissuade him of that.
Well, because eventually he's going to be in a crypt.
Aren't we? Won't we all?
But while I like Himeno, I think she grew as a character on me because she was very princessy.
Oh, but that was just the lace hiding the steel.
I would say for my side characters, like for the assistants or anything like that, it would actually be Sebastian.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that his first comment when they all meet each other is like, I'm actually 25. It's like, what the hell happened to you?
And we found out.
And because he's so beautiful, he had to put on an old man visage. And so if I had to choose, well, next question would be, what was your favorite episode? I can name mine.
Which?
The suitor episode.
Oh, where they're trying to pair them off, and we learn.
Because Yanma was horrifically funny, and Rita was in it to win it.
And Jeremy is just having fun as the puppet master.
And while you are thinking,
I mean, you'll task me because I have several favorites. I mean, ones that I just really, really enjoy.
Well, the hard part is that some of the early episodes, I don't remember which one it is anymore because everything has blended together.
That's the hard thing with a really good story.
Yes.
It's hard to cut it up once you've experienced the totality.
So
I think.
So while you're doing that, some people think Chest of Greatness gives a series an 8 out of 10, Takumi a 6 out of 10, Arcana Master a 9 out of 10. And overall, I think any score think any score is fair in that regard. I wouldn't say this series is like a 10 out of 10.
I would give it a 4 out of 5.
I was going to say a 4 out of 10? Okay. Then any score is not accepted.
I rarely go the route of scoring because
I know
SF Debris, all scores are relative to their series, and I realize everything is relative. I don't know if there's an objective way. Highly, highly, highly recommended.
Yes. So, but I think it's fair. But some of the things that we have here is just some of the other comments, and there's a lot of comments. Everyone, you're very, very communicative here.
I think I've nailed down my favorite.
Okay.
I think my favorite is the second duel between Gira and Raku.
Well, that's what I was thinking of. I was trying to remember which episode number that was, because that was a damn good battle.
A damn good battle. A great reveal that one of the helpers, the two swords, was actually the jester in disguise. I think that's when Yama got his revenge with the whoopee cushion prank, and Gira finally claims the throne. There's a great feeling of triumph to bolster as we've watched him fake his own death and hide for a while.
It'd be a toss-up with that. It'd be a toss-up with the Yama origin story episode when we saw him fight off against the gangsters, and then the finale, because the finale was just so good, especially episode 49.
Well, here's another question that came from the comments. What did you think of the handoff? It's not your traditional handoff where people like shake their hands. It was literally Boom Boonger saying, "Hey, there's a car," pushing him towards a car. And then the cutest thing ever for me was Gira putting his head on the shoulder of Boom Boonger Red.
To be in the shot.
Yes. But it was so cool because one person said that was Gira's first car ride ever.
Actually, I kind of wish we could play the song, "Here in My Car, It's the Nicest of All."
Well,
the only way to do in cars.
Somebody said it's memed with Barbie Girl. Because there's a part of the song that talks about a car.
I'm going to stick with my choice.
Okay,
look, I've given Barbie.
You want to go with the cars.
The cars. I've given Barbie her fair shake, better than the Oscars did, I tell you that. But then again, the Oscars really, I don't follow them for quality anymore.
The problem is I now have Barbie Girl stuck in my head.
Oh, come on, Cruella. Let's go, Cruella.
I am not doing it.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, but more bitter. Give me more bitterness.
And then director's cut. Cherry Fluffbelly said, "Speak of an anime, leave this at the end. Ever heard of the movie Tokyo Godfathers?" Wonderful, wonderful movie.
I never saw it.
Oh, God, we're going to have to watch it.
Okay.
I don't want to spoil it because it's such a good movie.
Wait, is this one of those such a good movies because it makes you cry? Or such a good movie is
supposed to
fun?
Cry.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's supposed to be like Grave of the Fireflies.
No!
Chest of Greatness does have the best comment in there. Wait, I just realized they didn't announce the finale of the Mofun anime. I hope Rita does a reaction of watching the final episode of Mofun.
Look, in that case, we'll be here on Earth and still hear her all the way on Terra.
I also wonder, when seeing some of the elements of the Mofun anime, that shit was dark.
Yeah, I mean, Patrick Rita, they're not into just frou-frou frilly.
Toku Punk says Dawn Brothers and King-Ohger were made for older people. What do you mean, older people?
Speak up, my lady Cruellica.
They were more popular and made more money than any Sentai of the past 5 years and were a bit mainstream, mainly Dawn Brothers.
These ears of mine doth not work so well in the young year of our Lord 2024.
And so Boom Boonger is made for the younger people. What do you mean by younger people then?
Not you.
Well, that's clear.
Verily, we must smack the bottoms of these young whippersnappers, for they have displeased us.
Kagaguri is Saul Goodman. Thank you, Toku.
It's all good, man.
So Toku Punk says Rockley's is the most Chad person in Sentai. I don't know what Chad means.
I think it's meant to be awesome.
I have no idea because apparently I'm old.
Verily, my lady.
Arcana Master says Rockley was amazing. Kaguragi was their fave. Toku Punk says Rita is waifu for Laifu. Kaguragi is best boy. Toku Punk said Saul Goodman. Star Wars fan says Yanma. And oh yeah, we didn't get to see Yanma getting friend zoned by Himeno, so we're safe.
Well, for now.
Well,
the shipping.
I will say, this one, the Ranger cast all around were all good.
Oh, and well, probably because each of their characters was a leader themselves, and thus they had to have a strong personality.
Yeah, they were great. Like, if they were to do Shotos for King-Ohger and Don Brothers, I would buy the Shotos for both figures, both lines. I know they have the Udos, but it's...
But now I really do want to see the Don Brothers transform, but without the helmets, and just the horror show. The absolute horror show.
I pitched this. I need this.
But, well, the other thing is, King-Ohger, it felt like an anime in Sentai. And it was great for it. And
or Game of Thrones, but with less nudity.
Less nudity
and
less...
no incest.
I was going to say no incest.
Well, I'm
hoping for no incest.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was a really good show. And
although, I feel like we've done Himeno dirty. I don't think there's a Himeno first fan in.
No, there. Yeah.
But let's be honest. Himeno got the best gesture in the whole of Sentai.
Himeno also got the best weapon with the scythe.
So she was a cut above?
No, yes. She's in their favorites. The reason why I didn't choose her as my favorite is mainly because Kaguragi but Himeno was a great character, and she did grow throughout the series. She had great development as a character.
Yeah, not being in our top tier favorite does not mean she was a bad character. It's just there were a lot of really good characters.
All the characters were good.
All the characters did something. I was really impressed with the casting.
I want this dude to be another Sentai writer, to write another series, or even go to Kamen Rider.
But I will say, because I'm starting to get hungry.
A Kamen Rider writer?
I have one
Kamen writer.
Final comment to say. Prison reform for Rockley's. He should not be imprisoned any longer.
Though his crimes reach a fortnight's journey.
I don't know. I mean, you could say...
He did so much.
But, you see, he still hit rock bottom.
And thus the mighty blow is struck.
Prison reform.
So,
release Rockley.
For those who are watching it at home, let us know what you thought of the finale to King-Ohger and what you thought of the series overall in the comments below. Click like, subscribe, the bell notification, whatever else YouTube has you clicking on to support us. You can support us on Patreon and Twitter at Toku AN Network. And then Discord, Facebook, Instagram at Kaiju no Kami. Also, Cruellica and I are planning to do a live stream viewing of Boom Boom Jer episode 1 when it's sometime next week.
And
we'll
can come over too. I just don't know what your schedule is.
I mean, 2 of us.
We'll see if we actually get booted off in the middle of the live stream and just have to talk about the episode after. But we're going to try to do a live stream
viewing. And for the mentions of Gotchard in the chat, at some point we'll catch up on it and do a video.
Nah.
Look, I'll just rave about how much I like the opening theme. I've got both versions on my phone.
Ooh.
English and...
At this point, I'm just going to wait for Shout Factory to release Gotchard.
Oh, yeah, because it'll be coming out next
year. He's still fuming about Geats.
Yeah. Because they made it... When they advertise, the mystery is on the wind, or a wind of mystery is coming, you think...
Bye, everyone.
Cyclone
I'm not going to listen to his soapbox. Okay. Bye.
But, well, we didn't have him.
Oh, yes, please. Sorry, Silver.
Forsooth, seek me out in yon domains of DeviantArt, Twitter, and YouTube, under my nom de plume of MLP Silver Quill, where thou might find a journey towards my Patreon and Ko-fi, that you may lend me your strength and finances. Mostly the finances.
You can also finance us because we are going to Power Morphicon this year.
Yep, Power Morphicon it is.
To my sorrow, that is the same weekend as Everfree Northwest.
And apparently, it's not as cool as Everfree.
I have my duties, my lady. Honor compels me.
But
as a knave,
Dalhas the show be as good, and may Boom Boom Ja be just as good, or we're going to get a boomstick on Boom Boom Ja.
All right. With that said, in very bad English, have a great night, everyone.
Fare thee well.
Thou ist offended.
No, you're not. Go.
Mine wench.
Stop calling me a witch.
Verily.
I am not a wench.
Fine, thou's dame of the dam.
I'll take it.
All right. Until next time. Bye-bye.